Yo, yo, yo. Good evening. Good Monday evening to everybody. Um, Early. Haven't done this in a while. Um, so maybe some folks trickle in. Maybe nobody does. Who knows? But I do want to get back in the habit of doing this every Monday, just to kind of keep me on track with Patreon projects. The last thing completed, I believe, was the Swamp Fire. I'm sitting here looking at part of one. Um, So in the process of test printing, ran myself out of the correct colors of filament and ordered some more of this green from Bamboo Labs. And I'm anxiously awaiting its arrival so that I can finish this version of the test print. I have one fully printed out that's Python Patrol colors. Don! Good to see you, bud. Um, I've got one that's Python Patrol colors. Uh, and I need to kind of figure out the stencil so I can spray the scale pattern on it. But it's printed. It's fine. It's good to go. Some folks are having issues with. I have not glued this together in any way. Some folks are having issues with these arms or legs not staying up. So I'll be reissuing those parts on the Patreon probably tomorrow. I want to get a test print done first, but basically sorry. Oh God, this part where it pivots, I'm making that a little thicker to give it some more resistance. And the pontoon, I'm kind of experimenting with. I had hollowed it out with kind of a diamond shape, so that if you laid one of the flat edges down on the print bed, you would get a nice smooth flat surface there, and then if you ironed the top, you'd end up with like very smooth top and bottom, and the sides always print pretty smooth, but there's ridges, and so my intention was ridged on the actual pontoon. The ridges are on the top and the bottom, so those get rotated to the sides when you print, and then you can have a nice smooth build plate, ironing on top, and everything looks real nice and smooth. So I created like a hollow diamond shape on the inside, thinking that would help it be lighter. But I think what I'm gonna do is print a solid one with just like two walls. I usually pretty religiously do four walls when I print a toy. I'm gonna try them with two walls and like an 8% infill, and just see how light I can get them, but keep them physically sound. And between thickening up that rotation piece and um, just trying to make the pontoons as light as I can, hopefully that'll allow them to stay up. So working on that. I have kind of my main machine that I like to use, my Bamboo Labs H2S. I'm having a consistent error with the extruder motor overloading, and so I'm going down the troubleshooting rabbit hole for that now. And it'd probably be easier just to buy a whole new print head than troubleshoot this thing, but I got to do it. Needed to review the whole video to see how I designed the main rotor. If we're talking about on the know that I put this on. If we're talking about on the Swamp Fire, did I go to? I think I might have. Yeah. Yeah. The top piece is kind of where the rotor plugs in as a separate piece, and then the rotor plugs into that. Yeah, if you have a specific question, like I'm happy to answer it, but it's all there on that video, so it's kind of easy. What else? What else? Troubleshoot. Oh, so the fall laser rifle. My original design, the one I had printed and kind of finished and was happy with, had like a permanence when you would make the power cell, the battery for it is, it's a whole separate piece. It's a battery, and then you would kind of force it in. It would snap into place, and then it is stuck. It's not going anywhere. So I'm creating like a spring mechanism so that you slide it in, it'll snap into place, but then you should be able to like push it one way or another and take the battery back out. And I need to I need to test print that too. It's tough when you're down a printer and you're spending more time trying to fix it than actually print things. But it's super close. I'm so happy with this rifle, man. Like I spent a bunch of time looking at files on Thingiverse and some other sites trying to find one that I thought was perfect, and it just didn't exist. So I spent a lot of time kind of in the game, because you can, when you pull up an inventory item in the game, you can move it around all different angles. And I was taking all kinds of screenshots, and I made sure I got everything. So the only thing that isn't sort of game accurate is the trigger. The trigger looks like it's made out of like a real thin piece of sheet metal. It's almost like it's not a body, it's a side. It's, from the side you can see it, but when you turn it this way, it disappears. So I made the trigger mechanism thicker. Other than that, like it's dead on. Like it's really good. I'm quite pleased with myself, as you can tell. I'll do this. Will the files for the trailer you made for GI Customs available on Patreon, or is that exclusive to them? Yep, that's an exclusive to GI Customs. There's stuff that I kind of do on my own, whether it's I don't know if that really counts as my own, but I do on the GI Joe 3D printing podcast when I do design. That's gonna, I used to just put them up for free, but now they're going to the Patreon. At the end of the day, doing that podcast isn't free. Like I have multiple subscriptions to things in order to do that podcast, and so I want to just recoup some of that money. So it's not just Mark II Design paying for it out of my own pocket. It's kind of like a self-licking ice cream cone, if you will. So like those will go to the Patreon, and if it's mine, like I like working with Chaz with GI Customs has just been really fantastic. He does a good job. He gives a shit about the quality of what he's doing, and the way we've arranged everything. Like I don't have any trust issues with him. He isn't screwing me over or anything. He's just been a great partner. So like there's always going to be more people that kind of want items than there are people that want to 3D print their own stuff. So rather than me trying to manufacture and design and do a bunch of other things, it's much easier to just have a partner who's willing to print that stuff and get it out there for the folks that want it. Yeah, but from time to time, he comes up with an idea. I'm actually a little surprised he's not here, but he'll come up with an idea, and we'll do it. And if it's like a thing that he came up with, like the pinball machines, that was 100% his idea, and not a terribly tough thing to design. Like the tweaking it and making it easily manufactured, shipped and assembled, and then like the lighting part. There's kind of the trick. Really, the lighting's the trick. He had, I don't know if I got a working remote right now. Hold on. So we both really wanted these things to have like a little ball and have like, not that you could play them a whole lot, but I wanted to have a ball and like a little bit of functionality. And what I discovered was just put the wrong one down. I've got a bunch of these remotes. Hold on. the 3D printable parts to make this sort of playable were too finicky as 3D printed parts. I was able to get some metal springs and things and kind of bend them and make it work, but it's not a real easily repeatable, easy thing to manufacture. So we decided not to go that direction with it. But yeah, so there's a little light inside this guy. I made it so I could use a quarter to open it, but I don't know that I actually have one down here right now. What if I use this? My desk. If you could see it, I'd be ashamed. So the light that's in here right now, just unscrews. So this works with a little remote, but it's real finicky. It's like a two-part thing, and when you kind of screw the top and the bottom together, that kind of completes the circuit, and it's real finicky. Like you can tap it a couple times, and it'll break the circuit, and you have to mess with it. And the battery goes pretty quick. It's a little watch battery there. So he didn't want to go with this. He found another option that I think they're aquarium lights. And they were going to have a permanent wire sticking out the back, so you'd have like a little USB-C that you'd have to plug in. But then you've got a wire, and we kind of don't want the wire, so he's experimenting now with another type of light. And if he decides, yeah, hey, this is what we're going with, I'll either order one, or he'll ship me one, or send me the specs, and we'll kind of redesign the inside to house the light properly. But yeah, so when it's something that it's his idea, he came up with it. That's going to be exclusive to him and his site. When it's a G.I. Joe 3D printing thing that I've done, that'll go to the Patreon, and then I have just kind of other Patreon projects I want to do. Yeah, one thing I want to do that he probably will not be doing. I finally cracked open my Night Viper, and when I was a kid, I loved this. Was one of my top 5 easy. Destro, Serpentor, Night Viper, Shipwreck. Obviously, they modernized it a little bit. Mostly, it's great. Like, I'm really impressed with the helmet. I think that's fantastic. The backpack, it's fine. Would have been cool if you could attach the gun to it or something, but oh well, no big deal. And I say, like, the original had these little pegs on its leg that the main rifle would plug into, and it looked a little weird because it always had the strap. But whatever, it was still pretty cool. This gun, which I'm really sure is pretty much based on the H-Car, which I did one of those for. Yeah, talking about the O-ring Night Viper rifle. I did an H-Car for Valaverse for Action Force, and so looking at this, like it really kind of pops as like, hey, that's probably what this is based on. But the stock is too long, and like his hand, like I really want to be able to kind of shoulder it and bring it up, and have the other arm be able to come around and grip it. And he just won't do it with the butterfly, with everything that's going on. Like there's just no great way to hold this thing. Like that's not too bad there, but like because the one hand is such a tight pistol grip, it's real hard to get it to hang on to the under part of the muzzle there, or the hand guard, whatever. So I think I'm going to do the original rifle and put that up there for you guys. It was just such a great figure, and the rifle was a big part of it. I appreciate that they made a modern equivalent, but the stock's just the stock is too long. It just makes it hard, unwieldy for him, unfortunately. So I think one of these days soon I'm going to knock that out because I can do that in just a couple hours, 2-3 hours. What I'd like to do, what I would have liked to have done, is make a strap for the leg that the rifle can kind of slot into. I wouldn't do the 2 pegs because that's just asking for stuff to break. But because this pistol is like that holster is kind of glued, there I don't think I'm probably not gonna break that off and then ask, like, hey, if you want this leg strap, break your figure. That's kind of not my thing. Would have been cool though. Yeah, and I gotta figure out the strap situation. Yeah, it's kind of a weird one because like not many of the guns had like a sling hanging off them. I think like Footloose's M16. There was like a couple like the Law rockets. There were a couple of them, but on the Night Viper, like he had that sling, but you would never sling it. You'd plug it into the leg. So what was what was the point? So I don't know. Maybe I make a new backpack that it can plug into as well. I'll look at the old backpack. I think I don't even remember the old backpack if there was one. Seems like there was. I'll have to look. But the gun, the yeah, Spearhead had a good one. He had that cool. That gun was crazy. That thing was so cool. It had the big bayonet on it, right? Yeah. What else? What else? What else? So I got a bunch of Operation Recall stuff I need to finish up. Hopefully this week. I'm overdue on that for Carson. Actually, just finished up another something for Valaverse that I think everyone's gonna like. I'm pretty excited about it. We were trying to hit a. He was talking to the factory, and he found out that if we got something in quickly, they could turn it around and have it for, I think he said ZoloCon. So I turned that out real quick for him. I got some fun stuff to do with Grindhouse. I think now that kind of the summer cons are over and things are moving for Grindhouse for the World War Hell stuff, things are moving at the factory. It sounds like so. I think we're going to be starting to push for some stuff for Wave 2 and or 3. Yeah, so laser rifle, that's coming. The next sort of Patreon vehicle I'm doing is the Polar Battle Bear. It's been done a couple of times. Mr. Zero, he had done like a modernized one, geez, like 2 years, maybe 3 years ago, and it is gorgeous, but it's very much not the original. It's modernized, and there's a handful of folks that have done their takes on the original, and it's just been on my list for a long time. And there's all this kind of Arctic push coming, so I want to finally finish it. Like I started it so long ago, but definitely working treads is the plan. So it's going to come down to, do I do links or do I do like a TPU loop? I'd rather do links, but they've got to be pretty sturdy and stable. I've done a couple of treads before, but I've always tried to do them on things that were too damn small. I did treads on like one of the pack rats, I think the missile pack rat, and there just wasn't enough physical material in each of the links for them to be real stable. So I think hopefully the Battle Bear will be more doable. If I have to, I'll just do a loop, but I think it's gonna be 2 tracks. I went and looked, and on the original toy, it's like one big track, which is that can't exist. um, I looked at a whole bunch of like snowmobiles from the late '70s and early '80s to see, like, to have tracks out like this. It's going to be 2 tracks, one there, one there. Most modern snowmobiles are a single track kind of down the middle, but it's thin. It's more like a motorcycle um, than a big sled like this. So I'll figure it out. I'm kind of doing that part last. I'm gonna get everything. I'm gonna get everything pretty damn close to original, and when there's nothing left to do, I'll make myself make a decision on the track. Uh, Links would be great. Links would be really cool, but it's got to be not too much of a challenge to print and keep together. Like, if it's going to come apart every time you roll it, it's no good. So yeah, time for the snowcat. Yeah, I mean, I've been fooling with Arctic kind of themed stuff, like I did an Arctic Asp and an Arctic Fang, and it's stuff I already did, just printing it in whites and blues and grays. Man, I'd love to do a Snow Wolf one day. A little too much stuff on my plate to really even think about that one right now. I have a really silly project I've been working on for a little while that I want to finish. That'll be a Patreon thing. I'm really looking forward to showing it off and seeing if anybody even understands what it is. And then I got to do the oldest spoiler that's on my super short list. Yeah, pretty sure like someone else has done a demon and a despoiler, and they go together. But I'm gonna do one. I am gonna do one. I love the Iron Grenadiers. That was my favorite sub team, hands down. Period. I think I actually had all of it too. I think I was able to muster up the finances as a young paper boy and actually get my hands on like that entire sub team when it was a thing. Cool. Yeah. So I'll be talking to Chaz here this week. I suspect we were kind of just talking in Messenger earlier today or yesterday, and we're gonna do a call soon. We'll figure out the pinball machine. Like a bunch of people saw them at JOEFEST and really liked them, and we thought for sure we were gonna have like pinball machine final solution by now. And, it won't be too much to turn around, but know that he and I both really want to do it the best way possible. So that's the plan. That's going to be kind of it for tonight. I'm going to be. I want to be done troubleshooting this printer tomorrow. I'm terrified. Like it's an expensive piece of equipment, and like what's been great about the Bamboo Labs machine is kind of like the ease of use and the quality of the product that comes out, and it's a very much a precision machine where things have to line up and work within small fractions of a millimeter, and I really don't want it to go to shit. I want this machine to work. So I'm not looking forward to taking the whole print head apart, possibly replacing the extruder motor. Although I doubt it's the motor; it's something else. So we'll see. All right, guys. I am gonna get back in the habit of doing this every Monday night at 6:30 my time. So yeah, see you next Monday. Thanks for checking it out.